All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here with my good friend of a long time, of a lot of years,
Yes.
Mr. Steelo Brim. How are you, Sterling?
I'm doing well, man. I'm happy to be here.
Thanks for coming here.
I
I
know
know we've
this
been
is
talking about it for a while. I know you've been yelling at me in my text messages and saying like, "All right, dude, I see what's up.
I
You
mean,
don't really fuck with me, I guess."
episode 172, but I am
We did
here. I
it.
am here. So many people before me.
We finally made it.
Shaba had an episode. Drama's dog had an episode before me. But I'm here now.
You're here,
I'm
and that's all
excited.
that matters. We made it.
Yeah.
Um, so thanks for doing it, man. I know that we're gonna have fun, and obviously you're an easy dude to like sort of shoot the shit with. And
Yeah.
I'll say, even though I know quite a bit about your journey, I don't know that we've went into much detail.
Yeah.
So I think I'll probably learn a little bit here too.
Yeah. It's always room to learn. I want to learn from you too today.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that's the goal. Um, tell us about childhood
Mm.
in the South Side.
West Side, you're being
Fuck!
disrespectful, man.
Oh, damn it! Started off
Off the
wrong.
rip. He went into this whole thing of like, I know this guy so well, so many years. You're from the South Side,
So
right?
you're from Arkansas? Okay, the West Side
Of Chicago.
of Chicago.
Yes.
What? Tell us about it.
West Side is a very interesting place to
Mhm.
grow up. It is not diverse at all. I grew up in an all black community on the west side of Chicago. I grew up first in K Town, then we moved to M Town. So people call the way Chicago works, it goes off of street names. So K Town is just K Streets, and
Got
then
it.
M Town is just the M Street. So I grew up on Mason, on the west side of Chicago, and it was interesting growing up because I didn't see my first, I'll say, non-black person or Caucasian person until I was not period, but until high school.
Really?
Yeah, no one went to school with me that was.
You didn't have like the weird, like just the random white family?
We had a white kid when I was in third grade, and he transferred like after 3 weeks. I swear it's not even a joke. It was like 3 weeks. It was 3 weeks that he was gone. But so that was very interesting. Now I went to a school called Whitney Young Magna High School. It's a very diverse and academically inclined high school.
Uh-huh.
Michelle Obama went there. The Wachowski brothers went there. You have to take like a 100-question test. You can only miss so many questions, and then still you're not accepted. They put your name into a lottery, and then they tell you, okay, you got to call back, like kind of like Hollywood.
Like an audition.
Yeah, almost like an audition. And
Yeah.
then I went to that high school, and it allowed me to see two extremes of the world each day. So each day I would obviously go to school. I see all these different ethnicities, all these different people, and then I go back home, and I was just a straight black hood environment, which
Yeah.
I love still to this day. And I think it kind of shaped me for who I am. That I'm able to kind of handle myself in any situation, in any area. Uh,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
that's
you
really
do a
cool
good
to me.
job at that.
Yeah, I try to. I
Like you
try.
can like hang out with my parents and like they're laughing.
Yeah,
You know, and then
and
you
then I
can,
can have a
like,
nigga moment
Good.
and really turn up on you. So
Yeah.
don't try me. But
Damn it.
no, so it was cool. But at an early age, I knew, even though I was from the west side of Chicago, that I didn't have to be. I knew I lived in the hood, but I didn't have to be of the hood.
But why'd you know that?
I knew that because I had great parenting.
You do,
My-
huh? Your parents are still together?
They're still together. My parents have been together for 37 years. I'm probably wrong, but 37 years. At this
Yeah.
point, it doesn't matter. They could break up. It's 37 years.
Yeah.
You guys did it. You guys did enough.
Yeah, you won. Yeah, yeah.
But 37 years, and my mom, she was a teacher, and then she also was a preacher.
Uh-huh.
And my dad got into preaching later on. My dad was a fireman. He was a barber. He taught us how to hang drywall, put down floors. So he was a carpenter. He did all these different things, and he's a man of many trades. And he just always instilled in us that, hey, there's more.
Yeah.
He would make sure that, I have friends that grew up on the west side of Chicago, and they would come to me and say, hey, I'm going out of town today. And I'd be like, oh, where are you going? And they'd be like on 172nd or 135th in this.
Yeah.
And that's still Chicago.
Yeah.
They didn't know. They in their
Like how many
head-
miles is that? 10 miles?
It's far. No, it's really far. It's
Okay.
further than that.
Okay.
But it
But
can
that's
take
out of town.
it can take you an hour to get there.
Got it.
But in their head, it wasn't the same city.
Yep.
And it just showed that they, it showed me as a child that my dad was doing everything he could to coach us, my mom as well, to take us to different environments, making sure that we're playing baseball. That's not very popular in the black community right now. Baseball
Yeah.
is in playing baseball, playing volleyball, playing tennis, playing football, playing basketball, like playing every sport just to make sure that we were not on the streets.
Yeah.
And growing up in the hood is crazy, but when you grow up around an environment like that, the drug dealers and the people who are doing wrong always look out for you.
Yeah.
Like
When you're doing right.
when you're doing right.
Yeah.
So you could be the kid that, like, if you want to hang out with them and it's like 8 o'clock, it's late now, and you're on the block with them, you just talking. You ain't doing nothing. You just talking.
Yeah.
They might tell you, hey, some shit might about to go down. You need to go in the house, Sterling.
Yeah.
To nobody else. They're
Yeah.
not protecting any other bodies.
Yeah.
They're just protecting your body. Like, go in the house.
Yeah.
Like, if you, like, whatever. Like, they knew we hooped. Me and my brothers, we all played basketball. So they thought we were going to the NBA. They thought all of us were going to the NBA,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So it was like, you got things that you got to do in life. You can't be out here selling drugs and stuff.
We got this. You go.
And then when I like made it to like 5'11", I was like, and it never grew again after that. I was like, you know what?
They're like, Sterling, you can stay out.
Yeah, like Sterling, drug dealing might be for you. No, I'm joking. But no, it just, growing up on the West Side, it was tough. But I come from a tough family, and a family that's always been so. We believe in togetherness, and we all, like, me and my brothers are best friends. Me and my sister are best friends. Like, we all. Every time a family comes around, my family, they're like, I just can't believe how much of a family you guys are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's funny. And I remember a story that you always used to say where, like, your parents, like, if you got in a fight at school, they would ask you if you won, right? Was that true? Your dad?
My dad would. Yeah. I mean, I didn't, it's not like I was out here fighting every day. I was like, how's your record?
Yeah. So you're 52 and 3.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. 3 losses right now, but Money Mayweather's promotion company is looking at me.
Yeah.
No,
But it was toughening you up.
it was definitely toughening me up, and I had to be tough. Like, what people don't realize is I was 4'11" my freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
So I think I was a legal little person.
Yeah. Maybe that's why you're so funny.
Yeah, I had to be.
Right, yeah.
My dad was small as well, and you kind of have to use that to your advantage so that you're not fighting everybody, so that you're not getting into these things. But yeah, like, so if we got into fights, yeah, my dad would ask us did we win. Of course, my mother would tell us, if someone does something to you, you defend yourself, but you tell a teacher as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like, hey, you out here, make sure you win. It was like, hey, make sure you report it to the authorities, but don't ever let anyone punk you in
Yeah.
life. Like, you can't walk around thinking like, he hit me. It's like, well, did you defend yourself?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
and that's it's kind of shaped me into the person I am, that I don't ever look for trouble. I'm still not looking for trouble, but if trouble is a brood, if the troubles are coming,
Yeah. I know how to handle it.
then I can handle myself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I just feel like that always struck me as like a good balance of whenever you talked about like how you were raised and like the balance of sort of being there for you and being loving and all that stuff. But if something does happen, like still checking in to make sure you're not acting like a little
Well, yeah.
pansy.
Yeah, I think that shaped my personality even more with me dealing with Hollywood and living in Hollywood. Like, I have situations and things that friends of mine who are in Hollywood and doing well and stuff, it's tough for them to deal with.
Yeah.
And it's not that they're like punks or anything, but it's just more that we had so much stuff going on. Like, we grew up in poverty. We didn't have money. We weren't rich. We weren't the poorest on the block. We weren't rich.
Yeah.
And those things kind of helped me realize that I don't have time to complain.
Yeah.
I don't have time to, like, I mean, it sounds horrible because there's such thing as real clinical depression, but I don't have time to really be depressed.
Yeah.
Like there's so much going on in my life and so many bad things that I've got to make something good of it.
Mhm.
I've got to play with these cards that I'm dealt and make the best of it.
Mhm.
And so many people live their lives complaining or saying that this is not right or that life ain't fair in general.
Yeah.
To any of us. I mean, it's more fair to some, but it's not fair to any of us. We
Mhm.
all have our obstacles and problems and things that we deal with, adversities that we deal with, that we say, and to me, it's just pretty clear what type of person you are and on how you deal with those things.
Yeah.
You know?
You think your parents embedded that in you, or that was just sort of a like your environment, or both?
It was definitely my parents. I'll give them that credit. It was definitely my parents, but also, again, with me being small, I was always looked at as the underdog.
Yeah.
from playing basketball. You're 4'11". What are you doing out here?
Yeah, yeah.
Go be
When
a
did your
jockey
when
for
did your
no.
growth spurt happen? In high school?
My growth spurt happened in high school, so it didn't even happen. Like, people, it happens at once. Sometimes you're like 4'11", and the next summer they're
Yeah,
like, "Oh my god, he's 6'2".
yeah.
I was like gradual as hell. Like,
Yeah.
my freshman year, I was 4'11". By my sophomore year, I was 5'3".
Yep.
By my junior year, I was around like 5'8". Everyone was like, "Oh my god, you're tall now." And I'm like, "Nah, I'm still pretty average, but we'll take it."
Yeah.
And then by my senior year, I hit like 5'11", and it was like great for me. I would always go with the 6 foot side.
Yeah.
My
Oh,
driver's
of
license,
course.
they ask you like, "How tall is 6 foot?"
Of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So those, but being small, kind of, you're always the underdog. You're always like, "Oh, he can't do this." Or you can, so you got to prove yourself.
Yeah.
So that really helped me in life to be like, "Hey, don't complain, don't do this. Just go prove yourself. Like,
Yeah.
go show and prove. Do whatever you can to make them look at you as an equal, because you are."
Yeah. Yeah. And what about, so you have 2 brothers, 1 sister, right?
Mhm.
What was like the family dynamic when you were younger? Have you guys always got along? Was there ever like a moment where you were like super beefy? You're the youngest?
Yeah, I'm the baby. So I mean, of course, I mean, any family, there's gonna be, and especially my family, we're the most competitive family on earth.
And you're all like comedians too, man. Is your
Yeah,
sister funny?
my sister's really funny.
Man.
My sister's like really funny, and she gets an unfair advantage because she's also a little overweight. So automatic funny. Like, whenever I go see some comedians and they're kind of big, I'm like, okay, it's funny already.
Yeah, like it's like
No, come on,
it's like
joke.
a 20-point jump, 20-point advantage.
But no, she's really funny. She's really cool. She's really funny. My sister always joke, and she is. When I watch television and the depiction they have of certain black people in certain films, and I hate it,
Uh-huh.
stereotypical shit. This is horrible. It's taking us back 20 years. That's my sister. And like, that's my sister right now. It's horrible. That's my sister.
Man.
But no, my sister's really funny. My brothers are really funny. And we all have a sense of too soon jokes in us. We all say things that people
Mhm.
think you
Mhm.
can't say. And right now, um, and what I'm doing right now, it's very important for me to have that, because I think we're in a world that's so PC that everyone is afraid to hurt people's feelings.
Yeah.
We live in a world that if you don't agree, you're a hater.
Yeah.
I don't agree with you, so I don't think that sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm a hater? No, it's not what I'm into, or that's not my preference. So I think, I think we've always just kept it pretty real.
Yep.
And as Dave Chappelle said, when keeping it real goes wrong, it goes wrong sometimes.
It sure does. Yeah.
But yeah, we were a very competitive family. We all played sports. Even my sister played sports. She played softball and volleyball.
Did you and your brothers always play like similar sports? Like, meaning, were you all into basketball? You were all
Yeah.
into.
Well, that was our hood chose basketball for us.
Oh, got it. Got it.
No, we were all into basketball. I was actually better in baseball. I was ranked in the state in baseball.
Yep.
I was ranked in basketball as well, coming out of my 8th grade year and my freshman year. But in baseball, I was ranked in the state. I was really, really good. My dad played in the minors as well. Again, Renaissance man. My dad did everything.
Jesus, your dad literally did everything.
Yeah, my dad is what we call a Jamaican man. He's not Jamaican, but he did everything.
He just can do anything.
Yeah.
What's he do right now?
My dad he actually will be retired next month
Oh,
from the
thank
fire
God.
department after
Finally.
after 30 years.
He's done every job and
yeah,
he's decided
and he's not done.
finished.
He's not done. He just partnered with like the president of the Cubs to build a little league facility in Chicago for inner city kids.
Oh, man.
My dad just like to do this always. He was the dad for the block.
He just can't stop, huh?
He can't stop. We grew up in a house that it was 4 kids, obviously, but it was never just us.
Yeah.
It was always a cousin or just
Yeah.
somebody that was not doing well.
Yeah.
And my family has just always been the family that's going to look out for you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I've had every single person in my family has lived with us for at least a year.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
That's kind of how my parents are too.
Yeah.
I've had cousins live in
It's
the
cool,
At
though.
one point, they had like a random stranger living in their basement. Literally, it was like from the church or
Were
like
you
something.
still living there?
No, and we yelled at my mom, like, "Mom, you can't
Just
let
do this."
people live in the basement. Like, you don't know who these people are." Like, but it was like some sort of church connection or something. But like, we're like, that's a little like you're getting too
Yeah.
nice.
Well, that's my dad. My dad and mom had a church. So if you
Yeah.
in the church, my dad built a like apartment upstairs. So that if you weren't doing well, he would let you use the apartment.
Oh man.
Like my dad is that guy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's who he did. That's who he is.
God damn it. Did you ever like get into bad shit? Like, did you ever have a phase where you were, like, carrying guns? Did you ever carry guns?
I got caught at school for a gun, actually.
You did?
Yeah, yeah.
Where? In your backpack?
Yeah. I got caught because a police officer that worked at the school saw me take it out of the backpack
Why
and
did
give
you
it to a friend. Give it to a friend. Because I was going on the train
Uh-huh,
and I was like, I knew all the security guards and police officers at the school.
uh-huh.
So I knew that, okay, they'll let me off. I play basketball. I'm a goofball, but everybody kind of loves me. I'm charming a little bit. But if I get caught on a train with the gun, I'm going to prison.
Yeah,
So I wanted to play it safe. So I was like, yo, you take this. Because they were driving.
yeah,
And I was like, y'all take it home.
yeah,
I'm going to jump on the train.
yeah.
But it was never like, it wasn't my gun. It was somebody else's gun. It wasn't my gun. I
So
wasn't like the
did
guy
you
that
have it,
like,
like, for safety or?
no. I had it for like, I was never that kid that was like, oh, like I've never tried to fit in on some like, yeah, I'm gonna get a gun and do this and do like,
Yeah, yeah,
no,
yeah.
I didn't even start drinking until I was 23. I
Yeah.
was never the guy that was like, yeah, like let's turn up and do. It wasn't for safety. It was for, I guess, coolness at the moment.
Yep,
So I thought.
yep.
As a kid, you just do stupid stuff
Yeah, of
sometimes, and
course.
you learn from it, and you look back, you're like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Yeah,
And I just had the gun just 'cause it was my boys. And I was just like, that's cool. I'll hold it for a little while. That's cool. Yeah, I got a gun. Cool.
yeah.
And I was done with it. It was like, here's the gun back.
Yeah.
Like, and that was it.
In front of the principal's
Yeah.
office. Hey,
Well,
meet me in front of the, security
that,
station. I'll hand you the gun.
it's crazy. And it's crazy. Only reason I didn't get expelled,
Mhm.
after giving a gun to someone at school. I didn't. This is insane. The only reason I didn't get expelled was because our school was so prestigious.
Mhm.
They didn't want it to go in the paper.
Mm.
They didn't want anyone because they knew they had to file it.
Mhm.
So they didn't want anyone to see Whitney Young, Magna High School kid has gun. This. So they were just like, we're gonna kind of sweep this under the rug. We're gonna give you 5 days suspension,
Oh, man.
but you had a gun.
Fuck.
And-
Did they tell your parents?
yeah, my mom had never seen me curse until that moment either.
'Cause
Like,
what'd you say?
well, because I refused to snitch. I'm from the hood, so they asked me whose gun was it.
Yep.
I didn't even want to go to the school anymore. So I was like, hey, you know what?
Can't
I'm not
remember.
telling you.
Yep.
And they were like, whose gun is it? They're like, if we find out, you're gonna get in trouble anyway. I'm like, well, then cool, do your investigation and look into it. But I'm not telling you. So then they kind of had put a couple pieces together and they assumed it was one of my friend's guns. They
Uh-huh.
called him downstairs. Like, is this your gun? Before before they even finished the question,
Uh-huh.
he was like, hell no, it's Sterling's. Like, just lies on me. Snitches. It was his.
Uh-huh.
But he assumed that I had told on him. Because when he got in there, it was on some first 48 shit.
Of course, of
they
course.
turned him against me
Of course
right
you
away.
panicked, yeah.
Like, you panicked. And
Yeah.
instead of just staying cool under pressure,
Yeah.
and like, my boy wouldn't rat me out.
Yeah, no.
He just was like, yo,
You-
we're beefing now. So he was like, it was Sterling's. And I said, I beat your motherfucking ass right now.
And your
And
mom was in the room?
my mom was right there. And my mom looked at me like she was hurt.
She had never even heard you curse, but she's in the principal's office because you got caught with a pistol.
yeah.
So, like,
The extremes.
It's a bad day.
It was a bad day.
Like, who the hell is my kid?
I had got probably, and it's nothing to brag about as I look back, it's crazy.
Mhm.
I probably got suspended between grammar school, we call it grammar school in Chicago, from grammar school, and that's kindergarten to 8th, grammar school to high school, probably at least 30 times.
30?
Yeah.
For what?
I was just bad. I had a mouth on me.
Yeah.
So, like, my teacher said anything to me, I would tell her about herself.
Like what
I
type of
would-
stuff?
Well, I would just tell jokes. So, like, and it's embarrassing, even though as an adult, it's still hard to deal with. Like,
Yeah.
First of all, they're getting paid shitty money
Yeah.
to come in and deal with stuff from shitty kids
Yeah.
every day.
Plus, you're pretty funny.
And I
So,
would,
like,
and I was like, I would say insane stuff,
Yeah.
like, and the kids would all laugh and like, hoorah, Sterling. The jokes would come, and that hurts the teacher's feelings.
Yeah,
So
that's
I would
worst
get
case.
suspended for that. I remember one time it was insane. Like I was doing pretty well in school at the time. Like I wasn't getting in any trouble. I was being on my best behavior. And I walked past our vice principal's office, and that was my boy, because I spent a lot of time with him and with our principal. And I was like, yo, Mr. Gully, what's good, boy? I was like, I ain't been in your office in a minute. Like, this. And I was excited about it. And he was like, as a matter of fact, I've been looking for you. I swear to God. And I'm just like,
you
what?
just snitched on
Yeah,
yourself.
I just snitched on myself. I'm like, what? In my head, I'm like, he's joking.
Mhm.
So I walk in, I'm like, what's up? And he informs me that one of my teachers said that I wanted to kill. Sterling said, he wanted to kill all white people.
Hmm.
That's what he.
It's good to
That's
know.
it's a
Good to know
quote.
now that we're in here in
It's a
this room
quote.
together.
Yeah. That makes you feel unsafe, huh?
Yeah.
No, and I'm like, so when he tells me this, I'm like, I never said anything like this. And he's like, "No, well, she said you said this. And she hated me because she was a new art teacher.
Uh-huh.
And I paint and I draw still to this day. And I loved art.
Mhm.
And our teacher would always tell us that art, I give you all an A. Art's about expressing yourself. So if you come in here and you do what I ask you to do, even if it's not that good, you get an A because you expressed yourself
Yeah.
through whatever it was.
Yeah.
So I love that about him. And then he left. A new teacher came in with actual textbooks and there's all this stuff that
A
I'm like,
white devil.
yes. Well, yeah, he was Hispanic too. That's crazy. And she was a white lady. And she didn't like me because I would always tell her this, like, you're fucking up art for us. You're doing this and this. I did this perfect. And just because it's not what you said doesn't mean that's not right.
Yeah.
It's perfect. And she would get mad. So I don't know why she went to this extreme of saying that I want to kill all white people. But me being me and me being, I guess, lovable, I went to that class. I cursed her out first. But then I went to the class and I took every single person out of class.
Uh-huh.
Because she fucked up because I said it in front of the class.
Uh-huh.
And I took all of them with me
To the principal.
principal's office, and she got in trouble. She got in big trouble. I don't
Really?
know. Yeah, she had to spend it for like a week because they all said, white people would defend you, boy, like you their own child. They was in there. Sterling would never say anything like this. Just no, Sterling is not racist. He would never speak like this. If anything,
I am appalled.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, yeah, pour it on.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's funny.
I've dealt with some stuff in high school.
So that day, your mom heard her son cuss and get caught with a pistol for the first time. Was there any like massive nuclear family
And
reaction? Like,
we-
how does your family deal with?
I grew up on the west side of Chicago. We grew up getting whoopings, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
We grew up getting whoopings, and I understand them till this day, which is probably in this society is like you can't whoop a kid, but I understand why my parents disciplined us to this day, and it was the greatest whooping I ever got from my mom. Not because she raised her hand to me or grabbed the belt, extension cord, whatever they could find.
Yeah.
It was because she didn't whip me at all.
Yeah.
She cried in front of me
Yeah.
and just was like, she looked at me and I could tell she meant it. It came from her soul. She was
Yeah.
disappointed in me. And that's all she said. She said, I'm so disappointed in you.
Mm-hmm.
And it just hurt me more than anything. Like the whoopings were like, okay. Like after you get whoopings so long, your ass gets kind of
You
numb.
get callous.
Your booty just is taking it. It's just eating it up. But you telling me that you're disappointed in me hurt me so much because
Yeah.
I am a family person and I did not want to disappoint her.
Yeah.
And I realized that not only was I disappointing, it was disappointing to her, but I was an embarrassment for myself.
Yep.
As I look back, I'm like, what was I even thinking? What was I doing?
Yeah.
None of us were bad kids. We were pretty good kids, cool kids. It's crazy. I always joke and say, if I went to any other high school other than that high school, I would have probably been looked at as a geek
Yeah.
or like just a really good kid. Like he's a good too.
Just a square.
But my high school was so like everyone, all of my friends went to Harvard, Yale, Brown, like all of my friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I see them to this day, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm just finishing up my third degree at Harvard Business School," and I'm just like, "What's up? We on season 7?" And it's just like,
yeah. Just two different worlds.
yeah, it's two different worlds.
Yeah.
It's great to connect. But yeah, that was the nuclear bomb she dropped on me.
That's good though. A
disappointing.
crying mom. If your mom doesn't cry a lot, a crying mom is a pretty nuclear.
It is.
Yeah. How did you go about getting into this like super good school, super good diverse? Did any of your siblings go there?
No, well, one of my brother Frank, who's my oldest brother.
Mm-hmm.
My sister's the oldest, but he's the oldest brother. He had tested to go there.
Frank's
And-
older than Justin?
Yeah,
Weird.
Justin's the middle boy. He tested to go there, and they initially told him he was not accepted.
Not
So he
smart
went
enough,
to
huh? Not smart enough. Huh?
well, it's smart. It's intellect, but it's also a lottery.
Yep.
So he went to a school called Providence St. Mel, which was a pretty good school, and they were good for basketball. And mid-semester, Whitney Young called the house and was like, "Actually, we'll take Frank. Like, he's good enough. Like, he can come in."
Yeah.
And he was just like, I have friends now. He was so he stayed at St. Mel for 2 years and then he ended up transferring. But none of us were stupid, so to speak, except for my sister. No, I'm joking. No, I'm joking, Shalene, if you listen to
You
this.
just called your sister
No, she's
fat
not.
and
No,
stupid.
she's not stupid at all. She's actually really smart. She doesn't apply it all the time, but she's really smart. Um, but no, none of them went to that school. I tested to get into school, did well. Then I also played basketball and baseball, which helps.
Yep.
The school looks at you and they're like, okay, well, he can handle the curriculum and he also is a stellar athlete. Let's take on this kid.
Did you have a goal? Like when you were going into that, let's say freshman year, you got into the school. I'm guessing you're excited.
Yeah.
Did you have a life goal that you were planning, or did you just want better opportunity?
Well, I knew by going to, well, as being a crazy boy, a crazy kid at the time with hormones raging,
Yep.
I wanted to go there because they were known for their pretty girls.
Yep.
I was like, I have to go to this school. And my parents were like, yeah, it's a really good school. And I'm like, yup, gotta go.
Yes, it is.
Like, we
So
were
much
not on the
opportunity,
same
Mom.
page at
Yeah.
all. But, looking back, obviously, my goal wasn't to do really well in school. Like, my algebra teacher got a shirt made that said, I survived Sterling. Like, I wasn't the best student.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't the best student, but I always tested really well. So
Mhm.
everyone knew this kid just doesn't like school. He's not applying himself. And, that's why when I understand kids are like, who say they have ADD or ADHD and these things. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's sort of a real thing.
Yeah, everyone has
it's used a
ADD
little
today.
loosely,
Yeah, yeah.
but it's sort of a real thing. I knew that I wasn't really engaging with the teaching method.
Mhm.
But whenever the test was thrown at me or a standardized test, I always passed with flying colors.
Yeah.
So my goal was more athletically speaking than academically speaking. I went in wanting to do really well in baseball and basketball,
Got it.
and I did. I did well in both those things, so I had no complaints on that. And then I obviously did well enough to stay on the team and pass at each class, so that was enough for me at that time. Looking back, of course, I would. You look back as an adult, and you're like, "What was I thinking? I should have
Mhm.
done so much more."
Yeah.
But I definitely look at education in general and just the way they teach kids and say that we need a new method of teaching.
Oh yeah.
100%. It
Yeah.
is just insane to me that we're still going by the same textbook
Oh, it's
and the
crazy.
same things. We're like, yeah, did you read the passage on this? And you're like, that's not even real anymore.
That's not even a
That thing
thing.
doesn't exist.
Yeah.
My girlfriend is from London.
Uh-huh.
I was shocked to know that they don't even learn about slavery or like the civil rights movement over there, which is insane to me. But it's
At
also,
all.
no, it's like not covered. Different textbooks.
Yeah.
It's insane.
But do they tell the story of America? They just don't really. They just
mean,
kind of gloss over.
It's kind of hard to not know
Yeah, yeah.
that people were enslaved over here.
Yeah.
But we went and saw the only reason I even bring that up is because we went and saw the movie Detroit.
How was
And
it?
It was really good. It was really good. It was hard for a lot of people to watch.
Yeah, I want
I
to see
went and
it.
saw it twice. You saw it?
No, I want to
I
see
went and
it.
saw it twice. I'm not even making this up. It's a true story. The second time I went with my sister and my brother, they wanted to go, and went and saw it, and it was probably like 30 people in the movie theater.
Uh-huh.
Around 30. By the end, it was 12.
Really?
18 people, all white, left.
Why?
It's really hard to watch.
But like harder than Django?
It's more recent.
Yeah.
You kind of know, like, oh yeah, that happened. Come on, guys, that happened
Yeah.
200 years ago. You're like, shit, that was like my grandma was in that house.
Yeah, you're right.
You're watching it and you kind of like, man, things are kind of like that today too.
Ah, yeah, that's
Which
fucked up.
is so it's
Yeah, it's
really
different.
hard to
Yeah.
watch.
Because I watched
people-
Django in a theater, I think in Times Square, and I was like,
Yeah. Which Django's
picked
also
the
made
wrong.
up.
I know, but it's just so harsh that like being the white dude in the theater, you just feel like
It is.
But I was there.
I
I stayed the whole movie.
I saw 12 Years a Slave, and
I didn't watch that.
at the Dome in Hollywood,
Yeah.
and and it was two white ladies next to me, Caucasian women next to me, and they at one point it was like a horrible beating scene. I'm not fucking bullshit, and they started laughing, and of course I don't know what they were laughing at. They could have checked their phones,
Yeah.
looked at anything, and been like, "Oh, look at this on Twitter is going on," or anything. But as a black man watching 12 Years a Slave,
Yeah.
I'm so angry for not for no reason, but I'm so angry at that moment that I want to just be like,
You're
both
like-
of y'all shut the fuck up. And I was
Yeah.
just like, dude, don't be that guy.
Yeah.
That's what if they want you, don't be that guy. But, it was just depiction. And Detroit I felt as though was very real and kind of too real.
Yeah.
But it is even more interesting that a white woman wrote the movie.
Really?
Yeah, Catherine Bigelow wrote it, and it's really good though.
So are you saying that your girl watched it and was sort of like, "What is this all
Well,
about?" Or
no,
like,
she watched it. No, she's not that
like,
clueless.
I don't
She
understand.
watched it, and she was more like, this really happened in the '60s.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was just more shocking to her that, okay, I heard slavery, and of course I know about oppression and different things, but I didn't know this was going on all the way until like
Yeah.
today.
Yeah. That was like yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yes. To your statement about number one, that's crazy. Obviously, in general, the way that all of that stuff is taught is not completely accurate.
Yeah.
But also, so many people that I have on this podcast because of the type of people that I have on here,
Mhm.
like the whole education system is like a huge topic, right?
Oh,
Like
is
obviously the thing's just completely fucked.
Mhm.
And but I would like to sit in. I just am curious of what like what's an 11th grade Ohio or Chicago class even look like? Is it still like so outdated and fucking like what's a day in an 11th graders?
Well, I don't. It's insane, and I don't know how they even control all of these things. But like to me, it's like even if it is so outdated, technology is. How are the kids not all having A's?
Yeah, I don't.
I
Yeah,
don't get. That's what I'm not
I want to
understanding.
see. I
Yeah,
want to
me
go
too.
at
Yeah,
one day.
like how are you stopping kids from cheating and doing all these
Yeah,
different things that like it was hard for us.
really hard. I
Like
remember like people would type in the calculator
calculator, yeah,
codes.
yeah.
They'd like save
And
them
then
or
a whole
whatever.
new page will pop up. And
Yeah.
yeah. I'll tell you how far we went. One of my friends went way too far to cheat, but one of my friends had a watch
Uh-huh.
that he had cut out a magnetic. I said magnetic, magnifying lens,
Uh-huh.
and put it on top of the watch. Took a piece of paper and put it inside of the watch with all of the answers on it, and he would just move his wrist.
Like in micro
Yes,
font.
yes, and he would just see like a like this one C,
Yeah.
D, like, and I was just like, okay, that's too far. People use the gum wrappers and everything, but no, education.
Now you
I
just
don't.
Google.
Yeah, you
Now
can
you
just
just
Google
like
everything,
yeah.
everything. Like, and that's just for us in general. Like, think about even you go back even 10 years ago, and you probably knew more numbers than you know now. Like, think
Oh, for
about even
sure.
in your cell phone, whose number do you know?
My mom.
See, and you're better than me. I know my own.
That's it?
No, I'm joking. I know my mom's too because she said it. Parents don't change numbers.
No, they don't
They've
ever.
had- ever.
Never.
But it's insane that like we depend so much
Yeah.
on technology. We
Yeah.
like literally, if you took away someone's phone or anything for a day, they wouldn't know how to function.
No. Hell no.
They would have no idea on how
I
to function.
literally like it's so bad, but I'll put my phone like on the charger in the other room.
And you don't know what to do.
And you're like, ah shit. Like
you go to a restaurant and your phone's about to die and you hand it to the hostess?
yeah.
You want her to move her fucking desk
Yeah,
closer to
yeah,
your table.
yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
can you move that over here?
Yeah.
Like,
Imagine when we have like Apple chips imprinted in our brains.
oh my God.
That'll be like 5 years.
I don't think that I'm gonna allow it. I don't think I'm gonna
I
allow
won't be
it.
the first round. I'll be the second.
See, I don't think I'm gonna let it happen,
Yeah.
period.
Yeah. I'm down.
Me and my
Chip me up.
I'm doing a new show right now, and me and my boy, we gotta talk about all these different things.
Mm-hmm.
Because what we feel like is lacking in the world is that just conversation in general.
Yeah.
We feel like at the end of the day, none of us are gonna agree 100% on anything
Mm-hmm.
because we're all raised differently. We all come from different environments. But if we can communicate and have conversations with one another, then we can at least progress with one
Mhm.
another. We can take steps forward to understanding each other. And me and him will talk about different things in technology, and we have an episode all about the NSA.
Yeah.
And they're watching this and covering your laptop camera and doing this,
Yeah.
this, and kind of our conclusion at the end is no one gives a shit about you,
No.
but but it's like the fact that they have the access to it.
Yeah.
They just
It's a
can't-
weird catch-22. Because
Yeah.
I know people that have the black tape over their computers. And I'm like, bro, come on.
Yeah.
Like they're not watching you.
Yeah, but they see it on like Facebook because Mark Zuckerberg did. He's like, yeah, they're watching him.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
They're
true.
watching the Zuck.
But I get it. I get the feeling that it's just kind of weird, and I guess you want to cover your shit. I don't know. Yeah, I get it. That'd be a funny comedy. I would like to see how you put your comedy spin on that issue.
We take an
Yeah.
interesting route to it.
I like it. What did you get into acting at what was the thing you met Michael
Mhm.
on filming a movie
Hardball.
and you were acting?
No.
What were you doing?
I was ranked in baseball. So they
Oh.
called me to come in and be one of the kids that play baseball. They were like, "Hey, can you come and be
Oh.
on it?" So I went in and I auditioned to be on the team. Made it, and it's crazy. We talked about this recently, but child labor laws in Illinois stated that if kids work, minors work the same amount of time, they get the same amount of pay.
Uh-huh.
And because I was on the main team on the Cucumbers in the movie,
Uh-huh.
they had to pay me the same amount as the actors.
Uh-huh.
And the actors hated it because essentially I made more than them because I didn't have a manager or agent.
Yeah.
So I had nobody taking away from me. It was just checks being mailed straight to my house.
What age was that at?
12, 11, 12. Yeah,
Oh, man.
me and Mike met on that movie, but I had no desire to act. And even when I moved to LA, I still had no desire to be on television or do
Got
anything.
it.
Was focused on music, working in music. And I would always go to parties and different things with Mike, and people would guess what we did and say, "I know you're an actor."
Yeah.
To me, and I'm like, "I'm not an
Yeah, to
actor."
him, like, you must be,
Yeah,
his agent?
yeah, yeah. No, that really happened.
Yeah.
And obviously I wasn't an actor at all, but I kind of just obviously when how ridiculousness came about, and when it came about, it was just for me like, oh, I guess it's just God saying, hey, you're funny, use your other
Yeah,
talents,
yeah, yeah.
don't just put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah. It's just funny because for some reason, I've obviously known that story the whole time I've known you. I just always thought that maybe you had, like, a run where you were trying to be a child star.
No, no, I would. And it's funny because me and Mike moved out here together. I would run lines with him all day. I would like me, just it's easier to run lines with somebody because
Yeah.
you have no pressure on you. So
Yeah.
you're just kind of telling them when they sound believable and when they don't.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, well, that didn't seem real, or this doesn't seem legit. And you kind of are coaching yourself and you don't realize it. So
Yeah.
when I got into acting, uh, and started doing little small things here and there, it was a little easier for me to be like, okay, well, I've been running lines for years now.
Yeah.
And then Mike is an amazing actor and he's my acting coach. So
Yeah,
it
yeah,
becomes
yeah.
a little easier, for me to just go run something with him and be like, hey, how do you feel about this? Or
Yeah.
what is it? Yeah, but no, I never wanted to be a child star.
Got it. That's
Uh,
funny. That's just how I always pictured you.
yeah, no.
Um,
I love that I give off child star vibes. Am I a drug head or
I
something?
know you're just
Am I a
funny.
drug
You're
addict?
just you're a good entertainer.
I'll take it.
And then what about when did you get into music? Like, was the music business your first, sort of thing that was yours, like your passion, or you're like, "Hey, this is where I'm gonna go in life"?
It was definitely my passion. It's funny to my friends because they know how much I love Diddy.
Mhm.
And as a kid, I would just look at Diddy from making the band and different things, and I was like, that dude has so much of my personality that I want to be that.
Yeah.
So I aspired to like, I want to be Diddy. So I was never the guy trying to be all in front of the camera. No joke.
All in the video.
In the videos,
Yeah.
come to Death Row. No, I was like, man, I want to be behind the scenes. I want to work the boards. I want to do this
Yep.
and learn this and do that. So in my freshman year of college, and that's one thing I always tell every kid. I'll go back and speak at high schools, and I'll tell them that I'm not saying not one of those people that says that college is for everyone. I do
Uh-huh.
not believe that, and that people get mad at you for saying that at a school when you're speaking.
Yeah.
But I always say, but I think that everyone should try it
Mhm.
to know if it's for you or not.
Yeah.
So it's your job to succeed enough in high school that you can at least have the opportunity to go to college.
Yeah.
So if you're not doing what you got to do, then you'll never know if it was or was not for you.
Uh-huh.
I was on a full ride at the school I was at.
Really?
Yeah. And I went there. I left after my freshman year.
Why?
My
Because
parents,
you were testing so? Because your tests were so good? Because you said you were shitty in the rest of the high school, right?
yeah, my tests were really well. I did really well on the ACT. So they come chasing you as an African American male
Yeah.
in America. The schools need to meet their quota. They're like, hey, you passed the test.
Yeah.
Can you come over here? But no, I was going for athletics and academics.
Got it.
So it was kind of 50-50.
Got it.
But my freshman year being there, I hated it. Just
Mhm.
hated it. Dreaded every moment, every second.
Mhm.
I just was like, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
And then I was never the guy that was trying to tell anyone, you should leave with me or school
Yeah,
sucks.
we're all out of here.
It was never that. It was just for me. I was like, for what I want to do in life, I knew I wanted to get into music.
Yep.
I knew what I aspired to be. I did my research,
Mhm.
and I think that's very important. You can't just say, all right, we're going to do this just because I want to do it. You got to do your research and see what it takes to get there.
Yep.
And for all the people that I looked up to, from the Leor Cohens to the Kevin Louses and to the L.A. Reeds,
Mhm.
a lot of them didn't have degrees.
Yeah.
And reading different books, you read about their story of them saying like, "Hey, I'm gonna get up and do it." And I'm like, "Well, what makes him better than me?
Yeah.
I can get up and do it." And then you really quickly realize what made him better than you. And you, no, I'm joking.
And then you learn quickly that he was just a much better man than
He
you
was
were.
amazing at what he did. No, but so Mike had just decided that he was moving to LA. And he was moving to LA, and he was like, "You should just come with me, bro.
Got it.
It's a lot of opportunity out here in LA." And I got to LA, and I just was not prepared.
What age was that at?
19.
Yeah.
And I was not prepared. I came to LA and just lost.
When did we meet? How old were you when we met?
Probably like 20 or 21.
Got it.
Um, but I was out here, and me and Mike even joke about this. And when I got here immediately, I was a club promoter because
You
what I was
were?
supposed to be doing at Atlantic, because I had already spoke. I had a mentor. My mentor was Troy Taylor, who was Trey Songz's mentor, and so I started doing work for him in college.
Yep.
They kind of let me get my foot in the door and just get my feet wet.
Doing like A&R type stuff.
Yeah, I was
right?
doing A&R stuff, and first I started out doing like promotion stuff for him.
Yep.
So he wanted me to show that I could get, which is the same thing to this day, I guess. But he wanted me to show that I could get a new artist of his viewership on his MySpace page and a whole bunch of clicks on his MySpace. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do what I can. So just me being as ambitious as I was and crazy, I went out and like came out of my own pocket. I'm a kid in college. You need every dollar you can get in college. And I came out of my own pocket and I went and bought flyers. Started passing them out. I had people working for me passing them out on campus. Then I drove up to Howard because I went to school in Baltimore. To Howard, passed out flyers. Came back to Towson, passed out flyers. And he was like, "I don't know what you did, but more people are going to this kid's page." And I told him what I did, and he was like, "Don't ever do that again. Don't ever spend money while you're in college again.
Yeah.
Like, you need all the money you can get. I didn't tell you to do that."
Yeah.
He was like, "But that shows me you're dedicated to this." So when I was ready to move to LA, I kind of just leaned on him and was like, "Hey, Troy, I'm not asking for a job or anything. I'm just asking for you to give me a meeting." And I went and met with Atlantic, and they were like, "Hey, we love your ambition, and we think that you'd be great here. We don't know if we can hire you right now." Hit you with the whole "we whopped at the time.
Yep.
And I'm like, "Cool." So I just started doing like little work for them, and my boy Aaron Bay Shuck that was over there who like discovered Bruno, and I just started doing little stuff with Aaron, and me and Aaron would start like Aaron liked me and respected my ear because I would start pushing to him the same artists that he would like, and I'd be like, "Aaron, we should sign Miguel." And I was just a eager kid that you're like, calm the fuck down. You just got here. I didn't know that less was more at the time. I didn't understand that. I didn't understand that I didn't need to be in the room as an A&R and tell everyone, "Oh, that fucking sucks."
We were trying to be puffy.
I was being puffy.
Yeah.
I was being puffy in my head. So I was like,
100%.
"That fucking sucks." I was,
Fuck that.
I wasn't even invited to some sessions, and I would walk
Standing
in and
on
be
the
like,
board.
Yeah, like, "This
What the
shit is
fuck?
trash."
Yeah.
And that person would look at you and be like, "Who asked you?" But I thought it was my job. I didn't understand what an A&R truly did at the time. I just understood the gist of it. So I was like, "This is what they do.
Yeah.
They tell people when their records are shitty, and this is what I'm gonna do." And I'm like,
How come
"Shitty
nobody
records all
likes
over
me?
the world."
How come nobody invites me back to the studio?
So that's what I was doing at the time. And with Atlantic, I was working with Trey Songz a lot at the time. And like when I moved out here, me and Trey became really good friends. And he would always say, "I need you to come over and listen to this. Tell me what you think about this and that." But I just truly did take in that your network determines your net worth, and I would always just meet everyone.
Yep.
And associate myself with everyone. Make sure that I was so crazy and ambitious, and I thought I was so smart as a kid that I would use that energy towards stuff I was passionate about. The energy that you felt like I was supposed to have in school, I had it in music. So when I would look up and research the Mike Karens of the world, and again these Kevin Lyles and Lyric Cohen's and all the labels they were at, I would obviously see someone else's name, and their email would say Joe Schmo at umusic.com. And I would say, "Okay, well then it's probably Kevin Lyles at umusic.com. And I would email him. And I would email this person, email this person, email this person. And that's how people started knowing at least my name.
And it
like,
worked.
They
responded.
they would respond all the time. And they would respond because the guy, Troy Taylor again, he couldn't pay me. It was an internship. And I asked him, I said, "Okay, let's make a deal today. Because you can't pay me, I would like to get paid this way." And I said, "I simply want you to allow me to use the name Director of A&R at Songbook Entertainment.
Yeah.
And I knew
And you
that,
had an email,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I knew that he had Trey, and he didn't have a lot,
Yeah,
but that was enough for me to work off of as a 19-year-old kid.
yeah,
Trey was still trying to make it.
yeah.
No pun intended. That was his first album,
Yeah.
but he really was. And I was like, okay. So I would email all these different people, and sometimes he would get emails about me.
Uh-huh.
He'd be like, "You're a Director of A&R emailed us." And he would get pissed. He would get pissed. He'd be like, "Why are you emailing the president?"
Yeah, like, why the fuck is it
Why would
Jimmy
you-
Iovine just emailing?
Real shit.
Yeah.
That really happened. And he'd be like, what are you doing? And I'd be like, oh, nothing. I'm just taking in these beats from this producer, trying to get this person placements and this,
Mhm.
blah, blah, blah. And he, even though he didn't like what I was doing, he had to respect my hustle.
Yeah,
He was like, this motherfucker's getting emails back quicker than me.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
just off, so that I used all that energy toward things I was passionate about.
Yep. It's funny how that works. It's funny how, like, you can be in school or, like, the wrong job or the wrong whatever it is, and, like, just nothing makes sense, nothing's clicking, and then, like, you kind of find that thing where you start to, like, find a passion or
Yeah.
whatever, and all of a sudden you have all the energy in the world, you're the smartest guy in the world, you're the most ambitious, you know what I mean? Back to the school conversation, like, I just wish so badly that, like, there was a better way to introduce young people to what could potentially be their thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I-
if there was a high school class that you could have found out, like, "Oh, I wanna be Puffy."
This is
Then
really ignorant.
Yeah.
And one of our sketches that we do on
Mhm.
this new show I'm doing, we have a school that we resegregate.
Mhm.
And it's obviously a joke, but it's just to start putting people in the classes they actually need
Yeah,
in
yeah,
life.
yeah.
Like basketball is not, it's mandatory now for black kids. There's no like, oh yeah, like rhyming class, we're gonna push this on you
Yeah.
nonstop.
Yeah.
Accounting class for you Jewish kids, we're pushing. Obviously, it's
So
a joke,
good,
but
yeah.
it's just more saying that we do need to change the education system though to things that we are actually passionate about,
Yeah.
things that you think this kid is actually excelling in this and this and this. Let's put him in this class and hopefully he can make. But it's so like, hey, everyone gets the same book because you all are the same in their heads, and it's like
Yeah.
we're not at all.
Yeah, I
At
just wish.
all.
Because you just see it. You see the people who find their thing and how energized and happy they are, and then you see the people who never do.
Yeah.
And there's so many people that just never find even what you found at 19 as an A&R.
But it's also that you meet people and you'll meet some of the smartest people who have the shittiest jobs. And you'll be like, man, he just doesn't know how to turn this into something. He
Yeah.
doesn't know how to put the correct energy into what he's passionate about. People think all the time, well, that's not working for me, or how I'm supposed to do that. I'm just fucking do it.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I know I know that seems way more simple than it really is, but it really
It's
is.
the Shia
that
LaBeouf
simple,
thing,
though.
you know what I mean?
Fucking do it.
Fucking
Do
do
it.
it.
But it's like he's right. He's
Yeah.
insane, but he is right. I
Yeah.
like Shia LaBeouf, but that's a real thing, and people make so many excuses for them. And one of my coaches said to me when I was like 14, it stuck with me for life that losers make excuses, winners make it happen.
Yeah.
Like
It's so like basic and cliche,
it's so
but
basic.
like yeah.
It's so
but
basic,
it's true.
but
I
it's
mean,
so real.
yeah.
And it's just like people well, I can't do that because of this. Oh my God. I tried to sell this thing and no one bought it because of, did you think of other ways?
Yeah.
Did you sit down and brainstorm? Did you bring in other people and say, well, they want to, what would make them a consumer? And people just, well, I didn't do that just yet because I have to pay them to come into the room with me and pray. And it's like, no, you fucking don't.
Yeah.
Like, use the things around you
Yeah.
to make money. Like, it's that simple. Like,
Yeah.
use every resource around you to make things work for you,
Yeah.
to make things happen.
Yeah.
Like, it's so real. Like, I heard Issa Rae say recently, and I thought that was great, that she was like, so many people get into Hollywood and they ask themselves, well, how can I get in that room with that person?
Yeah.
Well, I want to meet that person. And they try to work up.
Mhm.
And they try to say, okay, well, Harvey Weinstein, no, I'm joking.
I know how you can get in that room.
That
Oh
room's
shit! Cut
easy.
that out. I can't. Is it too soon?
I don't think it's ever too soon.
Oh shit!
Oh, burn that casting couch, please. But they'll say like, oh, well, how do I meet that person, or I want to meet that director, and there's a director right next to you
Yeah.
in school that
Or
has
you're
so
a
many
director.
dope,
You know what I mean? Like
the
now you can
director
do it yourself.
use.
Yeah.
And she says she works across.
Yeah.
And as a parent, when I watch Insecure, I watch her show, I don't see any actors that I'm really like, oh, that guy's been working for 20 years. That guy's amazing.
Yeah.
This dude, it's a whole bunch of her friends from LA. I know most of the people.
Yeah.
I'm like, that dude's been out here since forever. I'm
Yeah.
happy to see him on this show.
Yeah.
And that's dope to me though. Like that's what it's about.
Yeah,
Like,
she's so good.
even like me and my friends talk about things like this all the time. Like when LeBron James went to the NBA
Uh-huh.
and he was #1 draft pick and everyone called him insane
Mhm.
for hiring Mav Carter.
Mhm.
They called him insane for hiring Rich Paul. They were like,
Mhm.
oh no, he's insane.
Yeah.
This kid will never make it. He's making a mistake. This 18-year-old kid is insane. And he's LeBron James.
Yeah.
When you have a talent or when you have a gift that everyone wants to be a part of, they have to come to you regardless.
Mhm.
And people don't realize that.
Mhm.
And they'll be like, well, I'm a big actor now. I should get a big manager
Yeah.
or get a big producer
Yeah.
or do this. No, you made it this far because of people around you.
Yep.
They've pushed you and done this and done that. You can stay with these people.
Yeah.
You can all build an empire together. It's so much sweeter.
Yeah. It's so true. And I think that a lot of people just it's because like I think to look inside of yourself or your own circle for like the key to success is yeah, like a lot of people are super insecure about that, right? Like
Yeah.
it's like I don't know, I don't have it here.
Mhm.
Like it's somewhere, but it's not like it's not us.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's like you're always looking for the like I would do it if I had. And it's
Yeah.
so much easier to sit and say, well, if I had a better, you know, whatever, a better sound engineer or a better microphone, I would start a podcast. If I had a better, you know what I
You
mean?
can and you can look at yourself and use yourself as an example. From
Mhm.
when I met you and knew you and you wanted to do your clothing line, you could have easily said, "Hey, I've tried to reach out to fucking
Yeah.
I don't know to Supreme. I've tried to reach out to I don't Nike, whoever." And they said they won't manufacture my
Yeah. So I
clothing.
guess I'm screwed.
I'm done.
Yeah.
And you got with some guys that you were like, you know what? They believe in me, and let's do this. They did it, and now you're all thriving.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so much sweeter
Yeah.
to see your friends who you came up with, and all of you guys are a success. It's like, oh man, like this is dope as hell.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. It's if people they get that misconstrued, they'll say, hey, you big rapper, can you listen to my
Yeah.
my mixtape? It's like if you're not popping in the city you in, why would you think you're gonna be popping in the world?
Yeah.
Make everyone around you listen first. They'll continue to grow. Word of mouth is still the best form of promotion.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially today. Because
yeah.
today now it's all about like what fan base do you come to the table with?
Every
right?
week there's a new rapper, and I don't know
Yeah.
where he came from.
No, no.
And I'm like,
idea.
he
There's
made
so
some
many
kids
lils.
believe,
Yeah.
and that's cool to me.
No, I think it's dope. I
I
just
hear
think that like everyone you have the leverage now, right? Like this person that was a nobody. Like I look at that kid Khalid, right?
Mhm.
Who's so dope, but he was a nobody. I feel like 8 months ago. I don't know when
Yeah.
his album came out, right? But
8 months
ago.
But it also shows you that just as quickly as you can rise, you can
Oh, it's
drop.
scary. Yeah,
It's very it's really scary.
Yeah.
But that's true.
But and now he's like nominated, and I don't forget what he posted the other day, but it was him. He just went platinum, and he's nominated for best, you know, whatever, like next to Bieber and whatever, whatever. And it's just like, damn, like think about the fact that 8 months ago this kid was like a nobody from Texas.
I
who
watched
just had
Logic
dreams.
within 8 months
Yeah,
go
Logic.
from being like, yeah, I have a cult following to like I'm a superstar.
Yeah, he
Like,
sure
and
did.
my boy signed him, and he would be like, "Yeah, this kid can really rap, and this kid's good." I'd be like, "Okay, cool, that's what's up, yeah, yeah, yeah." And to watch him go from like, "Oh yeah, like people know your name, yeah, like,
Yeah.
you know Logic," to like now it's like, "Yeah, Logic is doing it.
Yeah, he did.
Logic is Logic." I think his record went 2 times platinum. Like, I was on the plane with him when his record went 2 times platinum.
Jesus.
And I was just like, "Yo, man, congrats on that.
Oh yeah.
Congrats on that."
Damn it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, that's a huge one. I just think people like to find the excuse, you know, and the excuse. It's really easy, especially in this industry that we're in, for the excuse to be, if I had the better manager, if I met so and so director, if you know, that's the easy one.
Well, it stops them from having to do hard work, you know,
Correct.
and they're like,
And it's not
"Hey,
their fault.
it's yeah, exactly. You
Yeah.
can blame everybody around you.
Yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's great.
To be able to blame
You're not
everyone
wrong for
around you.
anything.
Yeah, like, oh my God, they just not listening. Like,
Yeah, like you know how nice it is to probably be able to sit back in your hometown, and when I say nice, I mean it's absolutely miserable. Like back in like, you know, Chicago, and be like, no, I was the best
Yeah.
in all of LA. Everyone told me that,
yeah,
but what happened was,
yeah. What happened was
my
everyone's
Uber was
favorite.
late to a coffee
Yeah,
bean,
that happened.
and if the Uber driver wasn't so stupid,
I had a friend that like played basketball, was really, really good.
uh-huh.
Went to a big Division I school. He won, I think, either 1 or 2 national titles at the school. He was their starting point guard. He was amazing, amazing. To me, he was the best player that came out of Chicago in a while. I loved him. I thought he was, oh, he's a shoe-in for the NBA.
Uh-huh.
He wasn't that tall, so he didn't get drafted, but he did get a lot of workouts.
Uh-huh.
He missed like every single one of his workouts.
Just 'cause he was lazy.
Lazy, late. Okay, not getting on the plane, doing it. And I was just like, yo, that's crazy, bro. You have God-given ability.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you know how many people like as they love to say that the actual will outweigh the skill
Mhm.
9 times out of 10.
Mhm.
There are rare occasions where someone's like, oh well, I'm just better than you guys.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I'm just better.
Yeah, it's just yeah.
But it's normally like, oh, I worked harder than you guys.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I worked harder. Don't make an excuse. I worked harder. And he had the skill where I was like, you're better than us.
Yeah.
And you're not willing to get up.
That's the worst. That's the biggest like shame.
I know
when you
he
see
looks
that.
back and like everyone's like, he could have been in the NBA if he did that. I know he's looking like, fuck, if Uber was invented, I'd be in the NBA. He could have just called a car and got to the plane quicker.
Yeah, damn it.
But it's just like, you got to be willing to put in the work. And people are so afraid of the work. It's not easy. I understand why you're afraid of the work. It
Yeah.
is scary.
Yeah.
Even with me, like, I was just telling you this, like, I'm executive producing a show.
Mhm.
I'm the creator of the show. I write the show. I star in the show. I've never had so many hats I have to
Mhm.
wear, and like for me to actually write, it's hard.
Yeah.
We have days where we're just writing in a room and we're like, yo, we're stuck.
Yeah.
What do we do?
Yeah.
Then we have days when we're thriving, we're writing, it's moving. And at the end of the day, we can, as long as you continue to see the big picture, you should never stop.
Yeah.
I'm one of those weirdos. I always call myself a weirdo, but
You
one of
are.
those weirdos that I know so many people in life that they know and they'll tell themselves what they have to do to make it to the next paycheck
Uh-huh.
or what they can do to cover their rent. I've never thought like that, which is
Uh-huh.
weird.
Uh-huh.
I've never thought like, how can I cover rent this month?
Yeah.
I've always tried to build a foundation where I'm like, how do I cover a mortgage forever? Or how do I buy multiple houses?
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about making the short-term dollars
Mhm.
because as quickly as you make them, you can lose them. But if I'm putting in the right foundation, the money will continue to come in forever.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Forever.
it's so true.
Yeah.
We're just not taught that either, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we're not taught you're just taught to like stack up your credit card debt and sort of chip away at it for your whole life.
I never even, I bought a house before I got a credit card.
Yeah.
I,
That's yeah.
I got a credit card. I got a credit
Before you
card.
even had a credit card?
No, before I had a credit card.
Oh man.
Which is insane. I was talking to a dude in New York, and I said that, and he was like, "That's a lie." And I was like, "I'm telling the truth. I had
Yeah.
really shitty credit when I bought the house because I didn't have any credit.
Yeah.
And I bought a house, and I built up my credit right after I bought the house.
Mhm.
Credit's A1. It's amazing now. But at that time, I was so afraid of credit cards. So I watched my parents deal with credit card debt,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
was like, "I don't want
Oh,
that
it's
shit. That sounds
terrible.
horrible." And they
Yeah.
they prey on the vulnerable in college, and they look at you in your
Oh, they
freshman year
get
and
you.
say, "Hey, credit card, it'll solve all your problems."
Yeah.
And kids think like, "Oh shit, well I could use that extra $2,000 a month. That'd be amazing in college." And they do this, and then they have 450 scores, and
Yeah.
it's like they got you,
You're
bro.
in debt for life.
So I was afraid of that. So I didn't even have a credit card until I got a house.
That's impressive. Yeah, see, you beat the odds on that one.
I did, but there are so many things that me and my friends talk about, and not to even get into like the black community, but it's a real thing that happens in the black community. It's us having to change the mindset of our youth.
Yeah.
And whereas we're not taught certain things, we're
Yeah.
not taught to not get credit cards, we're not taught to buy a house, buy real estate, own these things. Like
Yeah.
we're not like as a kid, you got to think about growing up. You hear all these crazy racial and just these derogatory terms, like anything that you like that wasn't of that community was gay. That's gay,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, that ain't cool. That's good. It's like, what is that even? What are you talking about, bro? Like,
Yeah.
because I'm dressing different, or
Yeah.
because I'm doing this or doing that. Like, there's so many things that we have to reconstruct within the black community and teach our kids that really matter.
Yeah.
That really is like the real cool shit. Do I like jewelry? I like jewelry. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I think we
Yeah,
all do.
sure.
But do I think that that's the end all be all? Could I really be spending my money out here balling ass cars and have a
Yeah.
crazy house in the hill? I live a pretty modest life. I live a pretty like, hey, I can take care of this. I can do this
Yeah.
because I want to not only continue to stack money.
Yep.
I want to make sure that I have longevity in this in this part of the world
Yeah.
where it's like,
Yeah.
hey, I don't have to think about that. You
Yep.
know, I am blessed.
Yep.
And yeah, and that's me and my friends talk about that all the time. Like we gotta somehow.
Yeah. It's just
It's
man.
depressing. It is depressing, man.
Yeah, because it's just an endless cycle. Like we're just not. Yeah, you're just not taught it, and then you're just targeted so heavy. It's
Yeah.
nuts.
And what's taught is cool is more about what's cool, and what's taught is cool is when will people realize that's
Yeah.
not cool.
Yeah, but that's a hard. Yeah,
It's a fucking.
you're right,
It's,
but damn it, it's a hard.
it's so not cool. It's like, yo, that's not cool, bro. Like,
Because that's the problem. You put out 2 Instagram clips, one of you with like your new Rolex, and one with like your good credit score.
yeah, just signed for my house right now. People be like,
Yeah,
who-
like shut
who
up. What was
gives a
that watch
shit?
though?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Show
Or
the
those
watch again.
new shoes or
I was doing a clothing line at once,
Uh-huh.
and the guy that I was doing it with, I loved him. He was a great guy. We didn't jail or work because he wanted to make certain things, and I wanted to get into fashion too much. I think I'm too fly at times. Is my problem. But he was like, "Hey, man, do you want me to rent you like a crazy crib and crazy cars like each month?" And then I was like, "No."
oh, just to like look like
Yeah,
the
he's like the
clothing
post,
owner.
and
Yeah,
it would
yeah,
just
yeah.
bring more,
Yeah,
views to this. And I was
Yeah.
like, "Nah, I'm good." He couldn't understand.
yeah.
From asking a young African American male, like, you want a crazy house with fucking cars
Yeah.
and Rolls Royces, and I was like, I'm chilling. And he was like, but why?
Like,
And I
did
was
you
like,
hear what the words that I said?
And I was like, because that's not me. I don't have that.
Yeah,
And he was like, yeah, but like,
but I said cars.
he was like, look at this picture. Like, this guy's got like 300,000 likes because he. And I'm like, yeah, but that's not really his.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
That's not me, bro. I don't want to live a facade. I'd rather be who I am
yeah.
and teach people and be okay with that. And teach people, excuse me, it's okay to be exactly who you are.
Yep, yep.
Like,
Yeah, it's just
how do you
that's
measure?
just a hard battle to fight.
It's so
For some reason, our human brains are like, ooh, shiny things.
I
We
just
just like it. I mean, it's just
I was telling my girl before I left the house, I was like, obviously I measure, I won't say it is for everyone, but I measure success based off happiness.
Yeah.
That's it. That is it. You can not have that much money and be successful in my
Yeah.
eyes.
Mhm.
But it took me a while to learn that part.
Yeah.
You
I think
know-
that that's becoming more apparent. Like I think that's becoming more popular. I think with like social media, and maybe it's just a phase,
Mhm.
but the way that I feel, or maybe I'm just doing too many podcasts about positivity. It seems like
Many
people are
podcasts.
becoming more like it's less cool than it's ever been to show off wealth. It's
I think that,
cooler to
no,
show
I think
off.
you're growing up, and I
Damn
think
it.
that you're
Damn it.
separating yourself from that pack, which
Am
we
I?
should. We're older now.
I know, but we're supposed to know what the kids are doing. That's our job.
It is our job, and I don't
So
always know what the fuck the kids are
fuck.
doing.
I felt like people were super into like meditating.
Do
and
you
stuff.
ever get on somebody's page or go on Instagram and you see somebody that have like 10 million followers, and you're like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah, every
Oh,
day.
every day.
Yeah.
So we don't know
I
what
know.
the kids like on top. But
Damn it.
But
Well, that's just how I felt. So in my little world, I'm gonna say I hope that becomes more of a. I just think that social media went through this phase of like, okay, let's all lie as best as we can and show off as much as we can. And I think that it seems like, or eventually, people are sort of getting sick of that, and they want to see actually the real life and the real like happiness and it seems like these podcasts and these things are becoming more popular. All these little books.
yeah.
Like you can just see some of that stuff like kind of going viral and like all these quotes on Instagram about successes.
Yeah.
What happens
I
when you
mean,
put your
From everything, man. I mean,
But maybe I'm in a bubble.
no. I mean,
I could be in like a positivity
I
bubble.
might be in that bubble with you. I don't know.
We're gonna get to the bottom of this somehow. I don't
Cause
know how. I'm gonna keep you updated on what I find.
I see so many people who post stuff that I'm like, people like this,
Yeah. Well, me too.
but it's also because of just the day and age we're living in. Kids now have phones at 9 and
Yeah.
10 and 11. So I'm like, people like this, and now I realize no, 10-year-olds like this
True.
who have never seen
Yeah.
anything about sex or
Yeah.
cool cars and this. The kids like it,
That's true.
like
that's
real
true.
kids,
Yeah.
like
That's true.
right from Doc Miss Fuffins or whatever it's called.
What's a Doc McFuffin?
That's a TV show that children watch.
It's called Doc McFuffin.
I don't know. Oh, Doc McMuffin?
Doc
McMuffin?
Oh, shit, we got so many questions. I feel like we're two 80-year-olds on a porch trying to figure out what kids are doing.
Russell Westbrook just posted up a video of him yesterday singing a song from Doc
McFuffin?
Doc McFuffin. I'm
We
pretty
gotta
sure
look
I'm
this
pronouncing
up.
this
We
wrong,
gotta look.
but Doc McFuffins.
We gotta look this up. I want to know two things: who the hell is Doc McFuffins, and is showing off cars and jewelry still as cool as it ever was? We'll find out.
Yes.
Okay, so for the listener, because I know the story, obviously, but so then you went from working with Troy and that we started working together. I'm sure there was
Yes.
little stuff in between, right?
Yes.
But nothing that meant as much as you and I
Nothing
working
as
together.
me and you, no.
And so we started working together when I was heavy making beats. We signed some producers under us. We had our own little hit factory going
Yeah.
for like, I don't know, 14 months.
We're running that shit.
Yeah.
Was it only 14 months?
No, it was longer. Probably
I
2
thought
years.
it was like 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years and some change.
2 years. So then you were, I'll let you tell it, but essentially you were at the, no, I'm not going to let you tell it. I'm telling it. We were at the factory every day because we were
Yeah.
making music. You're a pretty hilarious dude.
Yeah. They
And
say sometimes.
and Rob was at the same time sort of working on the pilot, I guess, of Ridiculousness.
Yeah.
Had the concept for Ridiculousness. And he's like, hey, crazy funny guy that's always here in the studio.
Yeah.
You should come be funny guy on this TV show,
Which
kind of,
was
right?
really weird because I didn't know Rob. Obviously, I
Yeah.
met him through you.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like I also had done a lot of funny stuff around Rob for him to be like, that's the guy. Like,
Yeah, but yeah. But
I-
knowing you and Rob, I know why that worked. Because I know how, like, you are pretty, like, you know, you can spend 10 minutes in a room with you and you're like, damn, that guy's funny.
I swear to God, I said one joke that I watched him die laughing
Yeah.
at, and I think that was the turning point. I
But
swear to
that's how
God.
he is. When he met Chanel, it was because I had met her. Here you go, people. When I had met her,
Drama's been A&R for a long time. He's been A&R people for TV
I've been
shows,
Deer Deck
bro.
Enterprises A&R. I met Chanel off of MySpace Music because she was a rapper and I was a beat maker.
Why'd you say it was?
She is a super good rapper.
Yeah, it's my
She's
girl.
a super
Shout out to Chanel.
and I am a beat maker. Was a beat maker.
You were.
And we MySpace Music connected, came over to the house. I'm like, yo, Rob, met this crazy girl. She's a rapper, super crazy. He's like, have her come over. She came over for probably 15 minutes, and he's like, she's gonna be the rapping receptionist at the Fantasy Factory. Like he just has his like eye,
Yeah.
right? So say all that to say, I understand why that happened, but go ahead and say what you were saying.
I remember like it was yesterday for the first part. He was laying on the ground. We were watching like an NBA game.
Mhm.
And I've used this many times. And I said, I feel like you've been on the show before. And I
At the
said,
factory?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there was a TV
With
in
the
the
projector,
studio.
yep,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah. And
Oh,
yeah, the TV in the studio. And he was laying down in the studio. He just came in there for a few. He was like, what are you guys making?
yeah.
And making beats and all that stuff. And lay down. And it was something that happened. And I said something about a testicle festival.
Yep.
And he died laughing.
That's a good one of
Died
yours.
laughing.
Yep.
And he was just like, and then I want to say like a week later came to me and was like, yo, can I holler at you?
Yeah.
And I was like, what's up?
That whole testicle festival thing was just wondering maybe you want to be on
Got
the
me a
show for the next
job.
5 years.
and he was like, yo, do you want to do this show I'm doing on MTV? It's like modernized America's Home Fitness videos. It's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I'm, from hearing stories from Hollywood bullshit. I was like, yeah.
You're like, no, I
man.
won't have sex with you.
Yeah, in my head, I was like, casting couch. The Hands of God Studios is about to go down.
This is how it goes. I know these stories.
And I was like, I mean, yeah, cool, man. That sound like cool ideas. That's what's up. Yeah. All right, cool, whatever. Yeah, yeah. And in my head, I walked away and I was like, fucking liar. This dude's a fucking liar. Like, he's not just gonna cast me in some show that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything else to me, I will say, for like 3 months. And I guess you gave him my number.
Mhm.
And he called me
Because he called me one day and he said, hey, man, I know like you and Sterling work together, whatever, but I think you'd be great for this show. Like, you don't mind if and I'm like, no, he's all, take him.
Yeah.
I don't even like him that much anyway. You can have him.
And he called me though at night, and I was like, he was like, hello, yeah, it's Rob, do that. And I'm thinking in my head like, this is a prank call.
And here we go again.
Like, yeah, like
Hollywood.
I don't have this number, but this dude's lying.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, yo, it's Rob, do that. You still want to do that show? So then I knew it was really him. So I was like, okay, he did mention the show to me.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh yeah, sounds cool. Still didn't believe it.
Mhm.
And then he was like, we filmed the pilot tomorrow. He's horrible at giving people notices for anything. Still to this day.
Still does that today.
Still to this day. And he was like, we film that show tomorrow at 10 a.m. Can you be there?
Yeah.
I'm like, motherfucker, I don't do nothing with my life. Of course I can be there. Like, if I'm not in the studio working,
Yeah.
which I would do sessions at like night,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I can be there. got there, and then within the first 10 seconds, I met Jeff Tremaine, who was the executive producer on the show. He was one of the creators and producers of Jackass, and he just says to me, "Don't fuck this up." I don't know anyone.
That's fucked
It
up
is
too.
the scariest
Because
thing.
now that you know him, you know, like, oh, that's
Yeah, he was
funny.
joking,
Yeah,
yeah.
but at the time, you're like,
At the time, I didn't know who he was. I didn't know what he did. I didn't know what it meant for me. But he was like, "Don't fuck this up." And I'm the only black dude in here. Don't fuck this up. I'm like, or it's all going downhill from here. And we shot the pilot with you. With Drama was on the pilot.
I was on the pilot?
You don't remember you were on the pilot?
I don't remember I was on the
It
pilot.
was me, you, and Chanel. And
Oh,
I felt like
shit.
there was a order of speaking because all of you had been on TV.
That's funny.
So I waited on Rob to comment, then you, and then Chanel. And then if anything
Then
was
you, like,
left, I'd be
chuckle.
like, yeah. And I'd just be like, yeah, this.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Mhm.
And, you know, being nervous. And MTV came back to Rob and was like, fuck no.
Really? They
not-
did?
Yes.
Oh, man.
They came to him and was like, he is not the guy. We do not want him. He's not funny. No. And he could have easily been like, all right, well, let's keep looking.
Yep.
And instead, Rob has always been one of the most genuine people I know.
He's good at that, too. Like, he won't ditch you.
No. Once you're on his team, you are all the way on his team.
Yeah.
And he was just like, no, believe me, he's hilarious. I think for two reasons. I think that he felt like I was funny. And I
Mhm.
also think that he was like, you're not going to tell me I have bad taste. I picked this guy.
Yeah.
You're not going to
Yeah.
tell me that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yep.
So he came to me and was just like, look, let me talk to you. This is your show just as much as mine, which is not true, guys. And he was like, say what you want, do what you want, be how you are, and we'll do just fine.
Yeah.
And we ended up filming the actual real episode, and it was like, and we've been going for 10 seasons now, and maybe
Yeah.
11, I don't know. And then it just was like crazy. And
That's
it's like,
so cool.
yeah, from there.
Even though I know the story, still hearing it is like,
No, it
that's
really,
cool.
it really is like an American, like an American dream. No one dreams of that bullshit they put together. But it's like one of those things that you're like, it couldn't have went down that way, and it really went down that way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
to
it's
me,
cool.
it's just a blessing. I can't say, and he's really rolled for me. Like he's been if I was a nigga in prison and Rob was my chick, he'd be the epitome of a ride or die chick.
Right.
Like he has rolled for me like no one else, bro.
It's fucked up, but it's so true.
Like
Yeah, he just, yeah, man.
when I felt like I wasn't getting paid enough, Rob was the first one. Like, give him more money.
Yeah.
When whatever happened, Rob be like, no, don't disrespect him.
Mhm.
And he's always just been that. Like
Yeah.
he's been that, and I've always just been extra grateful for him. Like, dude, you didn't have to do
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
Like
yo,
you're
stop.
making me feel like I owe you a
Let
lot.
me take the loss. Yeah.
I will
Like,
not.
What do I owe you at the end of all?
Exactly. I'm so happy he's not Harvey.
No comment.
We can't use that? Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
we
I'm
can.
sorry.
We're using it. I don't push the boundaries
I
here on
don't
this
know
podcast.
Harvey. I don't owe Harvey.
No,
anything.
it's for the victims.
I know, but he's wrong. I'm not saying he's a good person. He's a horrible
No,
person.
but when you make jokes about it, I think
No, that's not
yes,
true.
true.
That's not
You
true.
make light of a situation that was very devastating.
No, I'm making.
You're a guy that has no filter
don't do
for
that.
too soon.
I'm saying that he's such a shitty person. We should all make fun of him.
Correct, but I
The
think that by making
victims, I would never make fun of.
no, we didn't make fun of the victims. I think that by making light of the situation, the victims,
Mhm.
you're taking it lightly
Okay.
for people who were
So how do
severely-
comedians make a living?
Exactly this way.
Okay.
Yeah,
then.
and we're gonna keep it, and we're gonna see what happens in the comments because
I hope you guys all know that I would never make fun of the victims.
I'm taking that
But
out.
we can all agree
I'm gonna edit that out.
in the comments, Harvey Weinstein's a piece of shit.
Yeah, let's agree on that, and also maybe comment on Sterling's page #too soon.
Hashtag- yeah, that was-
Okay, so shit, I felt like I had a comment about. I'm gonna be honest. I legitimately 100% do not remember filming that I was in the pilot. I remember
Really?
I remember originally it being like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this show together, and then I remember MTV saying we don't want it to literally be Fantasy Factory on a couch, and him being like, oh, you can't, like, so like, you know, you're the weak link or whatever, and me being like, okay, cool. Like I wasn't like I didn't feel like I was even a part of it or expected to be a part of it.
Yeah,
I just remember that, but I don't remember filming the pilot.
that was true. And they initially in the beginning they wanted it to be a totally different show, so they didn't want to use Chanel either. And it got down to like we already had our film date,
Yeah,
and Rob was just like, "Fuck it."
he rode for her too.
Chanel's Rob for her was like,
She's
"Fuck
not
it.
going nowhere.
I'm not doing castings. Chanel's in it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it. What a good friend.
I know.
Okay, so you've done that for how long? 4 years?
6 years.
Okay, tripping. 6 years,
6 years
11 seasons.
going on 11 seasons, man.
I mean, I'm guessing it's been amazing. I
I've
know.
raised kids. Let's start with that.
Yeah,
I've raised children. I have children who come to me and then they'll be like, I grew up watching this show. And I'm
it's
like, well,
so
don't
weird.
say that. That
Yeah. That
makes
happens to me now, and I'm like, "Fuck."
it makes me feel like I'm dying.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
fuck. Like, a grown adult will be like, "Man, I grew up on you," and I'm like, "Shit.
You know what I get
How old
sometimes?
are you?"
I get a lot of people who do Fed time. They
Mhm.
get out and be like, yo, you helped me get through my bid.
'Cause they watch it in there?
It must be the number one show in prison.
I've gotten that heavy with Army in the Army. You get that
Is
a
it? Yeah,
lot?
yeah, I get a lot of those.
Yep.
Yeah.
'Cause they
Yeah.
somehow get it over there.
Yeah. So if you're serving for the country or serving time, you're watching either me or drama.
It's
That's
so
what's going on
true.
here.
Damn it, it's so true. Um, in general, well, I mean, I don't wanna skim over that, but I just don't feel like is there any I mean, it's been great. Been a great experience. You
Yeah.
love
It's
Ridiculousness?
been an amazing experience. I've always tell everyone I can't complain when MTV asks me to do anything, when Rob asks me to do anything, I do it. And not because it's like, oh, I'm some slave that works and does what people tell me to do.
Yeah.
It's like it's the easiest job, and I'm so blessed to have it
Yeah.
that I can't complain. Now, of course, I dibble and dabble in other things that I do. I don't just put all my eggs in the ridiculousness basket,
Mhm.
but it has allowed me to go after other dreams,
Mm.
and it's definitely paved the way for that. Where I'm able to say I'm financially okay, so I can do this, or I can try to do this,
Mhm.
or I can actually focus on a goal instead of being a part of the Hollywood culture of people who are like, I don't know where my next check is coming from, so I'll do whatever you ask me to do.
Yep.
I don't have to do that, so I'm blessed. I have no complaints, and I've enjoyed the show. I've met so many people.
How many
Um,
will you do it 52 seasons?
but I do 52. How many? How quickly are we doing 52 seasons?
Over the next, uh, 6 to 21 years.
Six. That's a big gap.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I really wanna
six
gauge,
6 to 21. If
Yep.
we went all the way to 21 years, let's just start with that part.
Mhm.
Then I would be how old? I'd be 50,
Yep.
which means Rob would be how old?
Uh, he would be what, you're 29?
Yeah, yeah.
So he'd be 64.
64.
So,
I,
like,
I,
still, hopping
I
around.
think if
He's a
by that
healthy guy.
time we're on TV land, let's just start with that.
Yeah,
We're
okay.
not on MTV.
Well, listen, you never know.
We're on TV land by that time. But if they want to watch it on TV land,
Yeah.
no, I'm not doing it that
Okay,
long.
alright.
Are you insane?
Do you have, like, a cutoff? Do you have any sort of,
I don't
like
have actual. No, I don't have an actual cutoff right now in my head. I just know that I've focused over the last 2 years so much on me getting into the scripted world
Yeah.
that I respect that world so much. I've turned down so many shows and so many projects.
Yeah.
I've been like, hey, do you want to come do this? Do you want to host this? We have a show on Viacom. Do you want to do this? And I've been like, no. And not because I don't want to do those things again, because I know I have to get my foot in the door and get my feet wet in the script department to have real longevity.
Yep.
And now that I'm in there, now that I'm filming a TV show and doing a movie, I'm able to say, okay, well, I want to do ridiculousness for as long as we can, for as long as we're relevant, and as long as we're funny. But I also do have other dreams.
Yep.
Yeah.
What,
You think I'm stupid enough to say I want to cut off at a certain point? MTV hears this
I thought
shit.
maybe I could get you. I thought I could call him and be like, "Hey, he said
You
he's
heard
done
it,
in
guys.
3 years and he's out,
Yeah,
just
he's
so you
out.
know. We just did a
He's
podcast."
out.
Or I could be like, "Yo, he'll stay until he's 54."
He's dead.
He also said
That'd
that.
be so cool if like one of us died on stage.
That would not
That'd be so fucking cool if like when the kids watched us grow up so much that we died on stage.
like you were just in a gurney.
Like I was just pointing at a video and you watch me just go flat. Yeah. Would you not be like, damn, that's crazy? It was about time.
No,
bro."
I'd be like, "Man, I just watched my
We
friend
basically
die."
watched Dick Clark die on TV. we basically
Dedication.
watched the New Year's countdown and was like, yep,
There he goes.
this is it.
This is his last one. So
He's
let's
counting
make
down
it
something
good.
else. You guys are counting down for the New Year. He's counting down to resting.
God, it's so bad. Okay, so here's
Oh shit.
the tell the people
Mhm.
what you are working on now.
I am working on right now. I'm working on a short film I'm doing with Michael K. Williams and Hill Harper. That's pretty cool. And then I'm also doing a television show that I created with my writing partner Chris Reinecker, and Ben Stiller is producing it, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's
His
really cool.
company, yeah, Red Hour is producing it, and we are with a network, but I won't say what yet because we haven't announced it.
Yep.
So, but we're working on it. It's a sketch comedy show.
Mhm.
It's I hope that it could even come close to the same voice or tone
As the king.
of a Chappelle show.
Yep.
We're talking about different things that people in society don't want to talk about. They feel, again, we feel we live in a PC world, and everyone's like, you can't talk about this, you can't talk about that, and that hurts that person's feelings. But how else will we understand unless we talk about it?
Yeah.
So we're talking about the LGBT community. We're talking about the Black community. We're talking about Trump's America. We're talking about all these different things that
Yep.
people are like, well, we can't speak. No, well, politics.
Yeah.
Do you remember Dave Chappelle had a joke years ago that he was like, you can ask a white man anything you want except for who he voted for.
Yeah.
You can
Isn't
be,
that the truth? Especially now.
but no, now everyone lies. But
That's true.
but
Right now, everyone.
I
Lies.
feel like the white people in general want you to know when they didn't vote for Trump, they want you to know it.
That they didn't.
They'll walk up to you for no fucking reason and be
100%.
like,
Yep.
America, right? And you're just like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, that's true.
America, what are we gonna do, right?
Yeah,
And you're just like, I get it. You didn't vote for him. I
Yeah.
get it. But you did.
that's true. Yeah, but you're lying.
But yeah, so I mean, it's a really cool show. We're talking about all the things that people don't want to talk about. We're really taking it there, if you ask me.
Has the
Um,
network, have you had a lot of pushback? Because you have some
the
pretty,
network-
your humor is
The
pretty.
great thing about the partnership with the network that we're partnered with is they only have a 3-note rule for our scripts.
Really?
So I'll send them over a script and they'll say, "Cool, great. We only have 3 notes." And these are they want the reason they bought the show and wanted the show was because they felt like it is so out there
Yeah.
that you got to take it all the way there. You can't be like, "Well, then we're gonna kind of put our toe in it and talk about race issues, or we're gonna talk about this or that."
Mhm.
No, we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about
Yeah.
it, and then we're gonna show you sketches that make you say, "Oh my god!"
Yep.
Like,
That's good,
oh
man.
my, you can't, Sterling, you can't do
No,
it.
I know. I just know it because I'm with you all the time with people that I don't know well, and I'm like, oh my God, you can't say that in front of these people.
Yeah,
But for the viewer, that's the other thing that's kind of crazy is obviously we know you well, we know your humor and stuff. Most people don't haven't really got to see that.
at all.
Yeah, because you don't. I mean, on Ridiculousness, you only get to put your quick little things in
And,
your
and
gems.
that's why I couldn't do another non-scripted show
Yeah,
because I knew that it wouldn't be true to my voice unless it was just like you have a talk show now
yep,
or whatever it may be. I knew that if I did a non-scripted show, people would be like, "Oh, either I'm sidekicking again, or I'm like, oh, he has a show, but he doesn't talk that much." It's for other. So I was like, "Yeah, I have to write exactly how I feel about certain things. I have
Mhm.
an opinion. I want people to know it. I want to, shed light on different things that I feel like are a problem in America." And I think comedy is a easy way to do it.
Yep.
I think comedy is a very not relaxing way to do it, but it allows people to say,
more
"Okay,
lighthearted.
yeah, it's very lighthearted." It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I can get now. There are some sketches that you're gonna see that you're like, as funny as this is, I feel wrong for laughing.
Yeah, yep.
And
That's
it's
how I
like, but
feel
that's
whenever
what's
I
going
hang out
on.
with
You
you.
realize that's what's going on.
Yep.
So
Um, and that's pretty in line with what your current dreams are. What's
yes,
what would you say your sort of life dream is? To do a lot of those?
yeah. I mean, my life dream is just to be comfortable for the rest of my life.
Well, yeah,
That's
same.
that's my life dream.
But I mean,
no,
creatively.
but creatively speaking, I want to dibble and dabble in different things, from producing to directing to doing different shit. But my current long term goals, my short term, long term goal
Mm-hmm.
is just to get across my voice.
Yep.
And for people to really just know me as an entertainer. Like one of the people I really look up to and admire is Larry David, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to have that voice that if I was to shit on you in public, you would love it.
Yeah.
You'd be like, "Oh my God, Steelo Brim just
Yeah.
called me an idiot.
Yeah.
Amazing." Like,
Man, I just got into Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Really?
With the new season.
do you love it?
I love it.
Yeah, it's fucking good.
Yeah, but I don't think I ever watched a full episode before.
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah, I used to watch Curb. I love JB. I love all of them.
Yeah,
I love
damn
all
it.
of them.
You've been
Larry-
watching the new one?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Larry just has a problem with everything, and that's me. That's me in life.
Yeah.
It's like I have something to say about everything. I'm like, well, why does this thing happen or this
Yeah.
exist? And
But in such a pestering way where it's not offensive. It's just sort of shut up,
No.
Larry. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Like we went to dinner. We were at a dinner one time and he was there, and one of our friends was drunk
Uh-huh.
and walked over, and they were like, "Yeah, my friend said I shouldn't come over here and talk to you, but I just had to.
Was it a girl?
No, a guy. He's
Okay.
like, but you're Larry David. I had to."
Uh-huh.
And he was like, "Yeah, well, sometimes you should listen to your friends and get out of here."
God damn.
And the guy walked away. But I know for him, he took that and was like, "That was so fucking
Yeah,
cool."
like that was it.
Larry David shitted on me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I swear, my life has to get.
Oh,
where
that'd
I
be
could just-
incredible.
yes, where you could just be like, "Oh yeah, I feel that way. I don't
Yeah.
give a shit."
Because I think that character on the show is him.
It's 100% him.
Oh, that's so cool.
It is 100% him.
Damn it.
It's
for
so
him.
good.
Okay, here's my big ender. Did we
Yep.
miss anything?
Not really. I'm over here
Okay,
struggling with a cold, man.
You're gonna die on the
I might
podcast,
die
not
on the
die on
yeah.
TV. Shit. Okay. If you could go back
Okay. This is getting real.
to Little Sterling,
Okay.
walking the streets of the west side of Chicago,
Mhm.
he's only 4'11".
Okay, I'm talking the freshman year still in there.
Okay, he's only 4'3".
Okay.
So he's in.
I was probably 12, but still.
He's 12 years old. He's been frozen at that height for the last. No. Okay, so you're let's say 12 to 14-year-old Sterling. You're
Yeah.
in West Side Chicago.
Mhm.
Good family, but tough environment. Never
Mhm.
seen a white person.
What?
Like,
I've seen white people. I just didn't have to interact with them.
yeah, have to.
I didn't have.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like it either. But I'm just saying, in high school, you can't be like, I'm gonna ignore everyone in here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get it.
It wasn't forced on me.
Okay. Listen, you 14-year-old Sterling,
Uh-huh.
West Side Chicago, and you could sort of go back now with everything that you've learned. You've been in Hollywood, you've been in all this stuff, and experienced so much. What would the little gem be that you would give little Sterling to make life a little easier?
Oh man, it's so weird because I
Mhm.
feel like I did know who I was at an early age, which is very rare.
Mhm.
Um, I would I would tell myself the same thing I tell myself now,
Mhm.
which is it's not to spread yourself too thin,
Mhm.
to become really good and to become really good and focus on being great at one thing,
Mhm.
and everything else will follow.
Mhm.
If you focus on being great at one thing, everything else will follow.
Mhm.
I of course played every sport possible. Did this. I was good at all of them.
Mhm.
I was good at all
Yeah.
different subjects in school. But no, to really truly focus on one thing and just become great at that one
Yep.
thing, it makes life so much easier.
Yep. That's good.
So much easier.
There's your quote for the intro. Is that his quote for the intro, Dan? There's your quote for the intro.
That's my quote for the intro, guys.
We did it, man. Thanks
We
for
did
doing
it,
it. We
of
finally
course,
fucking
man.
made it
I know.
happen.
172.
172. We
Episode
did it.
172.
Tell people where to find you. Do the shameless self promotion. Instagram. You don't really Instagram much anymore, huh?
I don't Instagram much. I tried the Instagram today, and I don't know Instagram anymore. Tried the Instagram today, and I just was sure it was gonna be a hit.
And it
It
wasn't.
was like the lowest likes I had gotten. Like,
Did you delete it?
oh, I archived it right away.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, what am I doing? with my
Yeah,
life?
it's rough.
But you can follow me at Instagram at Steelo Brim. That is SteeloBrim, and that is the same across the board for Twitter as well. I don't really use Facebook. I
Yep,
gave it to my
That's
mom.
for the old people.
Yeah, I gave it to my mom. Yeah,
Yep.
she can have it.
Ridiculousness is on when?
On Fridays now. They move that so much.
2 episodes back to back?
They do
Or like-
7 episodes back to
Yeah,
back
the whole
sometimes.
day.
They're like, yeah, 30 episodes, ridiculousness.
Yeah.
But no, Ridiculousness comes on Fridays, I believe, at 8 and sometimes 10.
Yeah.
We're just the network. Ridiculousness on MTV.
Yeah,
That's
you'll
it.
find it. And then any time frame of when your show could potentially hit the airwaves.
Yes, it could potentially be middle of next year.
Perfect.
Yeah.
There it is, man. I'm excited for what's coming. I'm excited for you to hopefully take your sick, disgusting humor.
Is it disgusting?
No, it's sick
It's
and
good.
obnoxious humor and make an impact with it,
Yes.
which I think you'll be able to. And
Want
thank
to.
you for doing this, and we did it, and thank you, and we're out.
We're out.
There it is.